actions together. But hopefully through the Holy Spirit we can this morning. Verse 27, he said, Then he said, I pray thee, therefore, Father, that thou wouldest send him to my father's house. For I have 5 brethren, and he may testify unto them, lest they also come into the place of this torment. Abraham said unto them, Thou have Moses and the prophets. Let them hear them. And he said, Nay, Father Abraham, but if one went unto them from the dead, they will repent. And he said to them, If they hear not Moses and the prophets, neither will they be persuaded, though one rose from the dead. Father, we thank and praise you, Lord God, as we come to this time of service, Father, we have Judgment Day honesty. And we pray, God, Lord, that you put upon my heart. And we ask, God, Lord, that you take over. Without you, can't do it, don't even want to try. But God, you put this in my heart, Lord, I just want to be a willing vessel. Lord, through these, that you would take over. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. I had one of the things that we're running in the last days will be scoffers. Where is this Jesus at? And I believe I want you to see some things there that I put together. Because we live in a day, even within the church, we don't realize how bad hell is. We can't visualize through the pen work, the pen on this paper. So I'm going to have a couple folks, and you may share that with you. Go ahead, Nathaniel, you have it?
Of hell. Only 1% think they want to go there.
Go back there.
They're going to have some. This is a special week. We're talking about the ultimate for all of us. Where do we go after we die? What about heaven? What about hell? What does the Bible say? And what about people who've actually been there? Well, we've got first-hand testimonies. But according to a Harris poll, 69% of Americans believe in hell, but only 1% think they're going to go there. They're going to have some people very surprised. But do they believe in a little hell of fire and brimstone? Bill Weiss does. He says he spent 23 minutes in hell.
November 22nd, 1998 was a typical night for Bill and Annette Weiss. They spent the evening with friends, then came home and went to bed around midnight. About 3 hours later, Bill felt himself lifted from his bed and hurled through the air. He landed on the hard floor of a prison cell.
So a strange story is told in a book called 23 Questions About Hell, and also 23 Minutes in Hell. Bill Weiss is here with us. Bill, good to have you.
Well, great to be with you, Pat. It's an honor to be with you.
Right. You're a nominal church member, I guess. Are you more than nominal? You're a dedicated church member.
Full-time. 41 years I've been involved in church and ministry.
Before this thing happened to you, you were asleep.
Yes, we went to prayer meeting, came home like any other normal night.
Yeah.
And I got up at 3 o'clock in the morning to get a glass of water. Mm-hmm. And suddenly I was pulled out of my body, like being sucked out of your body. And I found myself falling through the air. And I landed in this actual prison cell in hell. Rough-hewn stone walls, bars, filthy, stinking, dirty prison, like a dungeon.
Yeah.
Now, this was an out-of-body experience. This was a vision, okay? I've never had one like this before. But anyway, it was actually a prison cell. And there were these demonic creatures in this cell.
What were they like?
Reptilian in appearance, bumps and scales all over their bodies. These particular two were about 12 or 13 feet tall. There's even scripture for that, but...
Did they look like anything that you've ever seen a picture of?
Yes, there are some depictions that are pretty accurate. One was in Dr. Kenneth Hagin's testimony that John Osteen's church showed about a demon that he saw. Dr. Kenneth Hagin.
What did they do to you? Or did they do anything?
They were, first of all, they were blaspheming and cursing God. They had an extreme hatred for God. They were deformed, twisted, grotesque creatures, and then they directed that hatred towards me. Now, I wonder why would I have done to them, but the one picked me up, threw me into the wall, tremendous strength. I collapsed on the floor. I felt bones broken. The other one dug his claws into my chest, tore the flesh open. You have a body now, but it can withstand this torment. And they had absolutely no mercy, an extreme hatred for God and for man.
No mercy at all?
None. Not any.
All right, when you were in the cell by yourself with these creatures, was there anybody else around?
At this point, I was alone, just with these creatures. And they began tormenting me. I did feel pain, but I understood most of it was being blocked. And the Lord explained to me on the way back that He did allow me to feel some of the pain, to relate to people that it's not metaphorical or allegorical. It's not a state of the mind. It's real literal pain you're going to feel in hell.
Well, what about the lake fire thing? Was there fire somewhere?
Yes, I was taken out of the cell and I was placed over next to this large raging pit of fire. This pit was not the lake of fire talked about in Revelation 20:13 through 15, but it's the current hell, Sheol. And then this pit was just a huge hole in the ground with flames raging high up in this open cavern. And again, it wasn't metaphorical or allegorical, real literal flames. And this is where I could first see people. There were people literally inside this pit burning. It's the most awful sight to see a person on fire, burning, screaming. The screams were so loud from just millions of people at the top of their lungs screaming.
What were they saying?
Nothing. You can't say anything. You're just screaming in agony. There's no conversation. You don't get to be with people. You're kept isolated and apart. And the demons are tormenting people. You have no conversation. The smells are so foul and putrid, the most disgusting odors, and you're actually breathing in sulfur, and sulfur that's burning is actually toxic. So I wondered how could you be alive breathing this toxic, foul air, but you continue living. There's not enough air to breathe either, so you have to fight gas for even the tiniest bit of oxygen.
What about water? No water.
There's not a drop of water. I was so thirsty. Just a drop would have been precious, like the rich man wanted in Luke 16, but you'll never get that drop. That rich man's still waiting for that drop.
Well, those people, you'd think that they would expire, that they would die, but apparently they can't die.
The body you're equipped with in hell, you live forever, because we're made eternal beings in God's image, and so our soul is eternal. It won't die. Like the burning bush, you saw it burning and it wasn't consumed. That's something like what it's like in hell with your body. It can withstand these torments. And you want to die. I wanted to die, but you can't die.
That's the most horrible thing when you think about it, just to think that there's no end, that there is no end.
Well, that was the worst part. I understood that I'll never get out. Never. And to know you'll be there for all eternity, without hope. Isaiah 38:18 says, those who go down to the pit cannot hope for thy truth. You have no hope for Jesus, because it's too late for them. The decision's final. And that's really the worst part, knowing you're not ever going to get out.
That just grabs people's hearts. I hope people listening to your testimony will understand what that is. There isn't anything more horrible where you have no hope, no future, nothing except constant pain and torment forever.
It's the most horrible thing. People's minds can't even imagine the horrors of hell. Your mind can't even go there. Any one of these things would kill you. And the darkness, I only could see a little bit through the flames, but the darkness is just consumes any of the light from the flames. It is so dark that you can actually feel the darkness. Exodus 10:21 talks about the darkness that may be felt. So that's not an exaggeration, because there's so much evil and wickedness in this place. There's no love of any kind. You understand you're never going to get rescued. There's no angels to protect you. There's no one to talk to. You're not going to get out of this place.
No one to talk to. There's no fellowship.
None. None. You're not going to get out.
People think there's going to be a lot of their buddies in hell. It doesn't work that way.
No, that doesn't work that way. You're alone.
You're alone forever.
Forever. And that's why people need to know how important this decision is to make that we have in life here. You know, we serve a loving God. He doesn't want anybody to go to this place. It was made for the devil and his angels, not for man. But man will go there because God loves man so much, He gave him a free will to choose.
Yeah.
You know, when He said, your own words will condemn you.
Did you have finally cried to Jesus? How'd you get out?
Well, when I was viewing all this torment, people burning in the fire, I began being lifted up through this tunnel. And that's where this bright light appeared. Suddenly, this bright light. I knew immediately who it was. I didn't see his face, but I saw the outline of a man standing in this bright, pure, holy light, like no light I've ever seen. And I immediately knew who it was, and I just cried out his name, Jesus. And he said, I am. I collapsed at his feet. I don't know if I died, but he touched me. And when I came to, I started having thoughts, and he would answer my thoughts. And there was many thoughts. I don't have time to go through them all here. But I thought, Lord, why did you send me to that horrible place? He said, because many people do not believe hell is real. He said, even some of my own people do not believe hell exists. Which that statement surprised me because I thought all Christians believe in hell, but many of them do not. They believe in annihilationism or universalism or soul sleep. None of that's true. Jesus said in Matthew 25:46, these shall go in everlasting life, and these shall go in everlasting punishment. He used the same word everlasting, aionios. So just as heaven is everlasting, so is hell.
But it's a place. I mean, the Christians think it's not a place.
It's a real geographical location. I understood I was down deep in the earth. I understood there were different levels of torment and degrees of punishment. Remember, Jesus said, you shall receive the greater damnation, and freeing is the lesser. But the point is, there is no comfortable level in hell. They're all horrendous beyond any
Why are
imagination.
they there? Did you find out why the Lord sent these people to hell? They went to hell.
They went to hell because they denied Jesus as their personal Savior.
Yeah.
They had the choice in life, and they rejected Him. Even though God offered Himself to people throughout their whole lives, people on their own, they reject. The only way is knowing Jesus Christ and repenting of your sins. And if you don't do that, you will end up in this place. And I don't care what you're raised with. If you don't know Jesus Christ, you will end up in this place for all eternity.
That's horrible to contemplate.
It is.
It's horrible.
It is the most horrible thing. That's why God wants us as Christians to share the gospel. And He doesn't want anyone to go to this place. He wept when He saw people falling back in this tunnel that we came out of. It hurts Him to see people going into hell. But again, because He loves man, He gives them that choice. He tells you clearly how to stay out of there.
Yeah.
You know, in Revelation 21:8 says, all unbelievers shall have their part in the lake of fire. So He tells you, if you don't believe my word, you'll end up there. So it's their own words that condemn them and send them there.
What's it done to you after you finished? Because you were only 23 minutes. You came back.
23 seconds would be enough.
Oh, okay.
But it's changed my life. I left my career in real estate. My wife and I travel full-time in ministry just to share information with people. You know, this is not a message of condemnation. It's simply a message of warning. And I explain to people, it's not important they believe my experience. What's important is that they check out the Word of God has to
Did you
say.
ever find out why you were chosen to go there?
I have no idea. I'm the least likely. I was not on Billy Graham. I just was a real estate broker going to work. I had my own company. I'm a conservative person. I did not feel comfortable sharing this experience, but the Lord had me share it. And now I don't mind the uncomfortableness because if one person can be led to the Scripture, I'm just a signpost to point people to the Scripture.
Were you terrified when you got pulled out of your body? Were you terrified?
I was terrified beyond anything I can ever explain. And I'm a calm person by nature, and I know something about fear. I was attacked by a tiger shark, a 10-foot tiger shark, pulled down under the water when I used to surf, and grabbed my leg. And so that fear I experienced then paled in comparison to what you feel in hell. It wouldn't even compare.
And there was no end to it. That's no end. No end. Bill, God bless you. Ladies and gentlemen, this book, by the way, is 23 Minutes in Hell. You want to get it, it's available where books are sold. Let me ask you a question, though. There was a rich man who said, how about sending somebody?
Instant Don Piper died, he went straight to Heaven's Gate, and 90 minutes later, he came back.
Don Piper was killed instantly when the tractor-trailer hit his Ford Escort head-on, crushing the small car. He was pronounced dead at the scene. Paramedics covered his mangled body with the tarp, Then Dick Honorary, a minister, stopped and asked the paramedics if he could pray for Don.
I walked over by the door. Great physical damage on the outside. And I laid my hands on him and began to pray for him.
As he prayed over the body, a sound came from beneath the tarp. Don Piper was alive.
Please welcome back to the 700 Club the man who spent 90 minutes in heaven, Don Piper. Thanks so much for being with us.
I'm honored to be here. Thank you, Rick.
I was fascinated by your book. I read it in one sitting. And before we get into the story of what you saw and experienced in heaven, tell us how you came back to life.
Well, a man was praying for me. You saw Dick Honorary. He felt led of the Lord to get in the car. It was an awful accident and a very, very heavy damage in the car. And certainly on me, I was killed instantly. And he crawled under a tarp. They covered the body up with a tarp, placed his hands on me and began to pray for me because he just felt God told him to do so. So he was obedient. He didn't worry about his theology, whether that made sense or not.
He was a good Baptist preacher.
He just did it and prayed for me. Now, many other people had been notified I'd been in an accident as well, but they didn't tell them I died. So they were praying for me only with the knowledge of the accident itself. So that went on for quite some time, and 90 minutes after the accident happened, he was singing the hymn, "What a Friend We Have in Jesus," holding on to me under the tarp in the dark, because we were under the tarp together. And suddenly I started singing the hymn with him. And he got out of the car really fast, because he was very frightened and excited.
Because the dead man was singing.
The dead man was singing, that's exactly right.
Now, what did you experience during those 90 minutes?
The reality and the majesty and the bliss of heaven itself. To be absent from the body is to be present with the Lord for those who know Him and love Him. And that's exactly what I experienced. I was surrounded by people I had known and loved in life, who had preceded me. Every single one of them had a spiritual impact on my life. So here I was now surrounded by these people. Some relatives, some friends, some teachers, but every one of them had influenced me for Christ by telling me about Jesus, taking me to church, living a Christ-like life in front of me. And they were all around me, and they looked really, really good. If you want to look good, heaven's the place you want to be. And they were all perfect in every way, blemishless. As was I. I mean, I was very mangled in the automobile accident back on earth, but I didn't have a scratch on me in heaven. I believe the only one in heaven with scars is Jesus to remind the rest of us how we got there. So I saw these people, and there were magnificent gates. There were indeed golden streets. There was incredible music, not only in quality, but quantity. I never heard such music before or since. Heaven is the most real thing I've ever experienced in my existence.
And we read in the Word about gates of pearl,
Yes.
streets of gold,
Yes.
and we will spend our time worshiping the Lord. You know, if you talk to a teenager, I spend a lot of time serving and ministering with teenagers,
Right.
and they think, well, we're going to sit around and sing all the time.
Oh, no.
And they probably have no idea of what you experienced from the music.
Heaven is an incredibly active place. I mean, imagine one of the things that you do is greet the people who come after you. What a wonderful thing that is. And since there's no passage of time, people are always coming and showing up, and you get to praise the Lord with incredible songs. There's the fellowship of believers. We will dine at the Lord's table. It could hardly be more active. It is an exciting place. And the best thing about it is God's there. That's where we want to be. He created us for fellowship, and in heaven we get to fellowship with Him forever. Forever.
I'm sure you had your share of skeptics who say you just had some experience because you read the Bible, that's what you experienced. How do you respond to them?
Well, there were several things that made it particularly real for me. For one thing, I experienced things there I didn't expect to experience. I even saw people there I didn't expect to see there.
Really?
And so in a very real sense, there were a lot of things that happened while I was there that exceeded anything I'd ever read or even thought about before it happened. So it became an even more real experience than what I would have imagined if I were imagining it. It is the most real thing I've ever had happen to me. But it's a faith process. You're not going to convince somebody about the reality of heaven unless you convince them about the reality of Christ. And of course, we know He lived. and he's the only way to go there. So because I knew him, when the truck hit me, I went to heaven because I knew the way. Jesus is the way. That's what he said. When they asked him, how do we get to heaven? He said, I am the way. So I went because I knew the way. You can go too.
Well, your book has been tremendously popular, over 1 million copies sold, New York Times bestseller. Why do you think people resonate with your story? Why are they so fascinated with heaven?
They're looking for hope. People want hope in this life and in the life to come. And both of my books have been about not only heaven and the reality of heaven, that you could go there, but having a meaningful life until you go there. You know, and so people are looking for that eternal hope, but they're also looking for hope now. Many people have gone through extraordinarily difficult times, a tragedy, a loss, a disaster, and they're wondering, how do I get through this life? And I want to give them hope about that too. I had to figure that out because I had 34 operations, was in a hospital bed for 13 months. And I needed some hope about the rest of my life. And so in a very real sense, that's what I'm trying to do. Immediate hope, what I call a new normal, and eternal hope, which is heaven that Jesus is preparing for us right now. So they're looking for hope, and I'm trying to do that in everything I do and say.
Well, your recovery afterwards was certainly not a cakewalk. You had tremendous recovery and pain to deal with. But how did that experience of heaven change your life once you were back among the living?
Well, I often say that if you know where you're going, it ought to make the journey easier. And if we're Christians, we know where we're going. We know how it turns out. Now, I was watching a football game the other day that had already been played. It was a replay football game. That sounds pretty desperate. But I wanted to see how they got to the end. You know, we know what the end of our life is if we're Christians. We know where we're going. Shouldn't that make the journey easier, even if we go through difficult and in some cases tragic experiences? And so that's what I want to do. I had to find that out, and it was in deciding to help other people get through their losses and tragedies that I was able to get through mine, because it made some sense out of my experience. And yes, there were many operations and long therapy, much rehabilitation, but through that process, I've been able to walk again when they said I never would, and I function. I'm not, I have a lot of limitations, but I can get from point A to point B. God has helped me do that, and I want to help other people do the same thing.
Well, I was wondering how much pain you still deal with, and I appreciated your honesty about the depression you dealt with when you came back, having experienced heaven.
I surely did.
Your first book, 90 Minutes in Heaven, really is the story of what happened to you, what you experienced, your recovery. This book, Heaven is Real. How is it different, and what message is in it?
Well, Heaven is Real is that book. It's the subtitle is Lessons on Earthly Joy, and it is the book about helping people cross over the bridge. I was on the bridge when the wreck happened. Crossing over the bridge, I went on one end of my red car, and the other end I was taken off in the back of an ambulance. So my life was never the same. We're all crossing bridges. And this new book is to try to help people get through the tragedies and losses of life.
Well, this book, 90 Minutes in Heaven, was fascinating to read, and it really made me look at even this life in a different way, knowing reality of what we have. Exactly. And Heaven is Real. These books are available across the nation, so please get a hold of them. Gordon, over to you.
Here's what I wanted to share with you. My message to you this morning is, I believe with all my heart we don't realize how bad hell is. And I don't think we realize our message. We get caught up in the day-to-day work. And after we're talking about that and seeing people that are burning in hell, we've censored our conscience. Also, we don't know how beautiful heaven's going to be. So the real question to you guys is this. We've got to renew our minds and renew our hearts to go to the hedges and highways to compel them in, because without Christ, I can read you the book of Revelation. I can tell you what's going to happen. It's the great white throne judgment. They're going to be thrown into a lake of fire. Now, I don't know what else, but the Lord's put upon my heart is that we need to get off ourselves and onto a world out there that needs Christ. So the question really is, what are we going to do about it? That's reality. That's reality. And everyone that you know that doesn't know Jesus Christ, that doesn't have time for Him, in times we want to quit. And I've wanted to quit at times, but God keeps plugging in my heart. Keep preaching it. keep sharing it. Because the world's lost. They need Jesus. And yes, we're heaven bound, but there's a whole world out there that lives the lie of Satan. So we need to understand something. Number one, we need to realize our job is to, what's it profit a man to gain the whole world and lose his soul? And what would you exchange for it? In this text that I read, with the rich man lifted up his eyes being in torments, he said, listen, send somebody. Send him. And in my own mind, Satan keeps trying to share with maybe in your mind, they won't listen. How do you know they won't listen? The harvest is truly white. The laborers are you, pray ye for laborers of the harvest. And I'm going to share with you, it's the most real thing that we have. He said, listen, I have 5 brethren, send somebody that way. We need to, as a church, as a people, if you have anybody that you know that's lost, it ought to move us to be in prayer and to have God and then be a vessel to get them, to be a light to them while we have time. Because the reality is this. I know we don't like to talk about this. We don't like to even think about it. But if they die, and once again, I've had many, many funerals that I've done. And I call the Christians a celebration. There's a difference, by the way. You can feel the presence difference. But I've had many of them come to me that they didn't know where they were. And they begged me. They begged me. Yeah, Dad was all right. Mom was all right. But they never testified that they knew Jesus Christ. And they wanted me to stand in front of a group of people and tell them they're heaven bound. I want you to understand what he just said. 63%, I'm sure it's less than that now, 63% believe there's a hell, but only 1% believe they're going there. That's a shame that 63%, it's a 100% guarantee. And only 1% of America thinks they're going there because we have sugarcoated the gospel of Jesus Christ. I want you to know the wages of sin is death. His word is there. Jesus talked more about hell than he did heaven. And I want you to understand something. And I had to take the big boy pants on today. Woe is me. Woe is me. Woe is me. Let me say this to you very clearly. If your name's written down in the Lamb's Book of Life, there is no woe to you. Amen. Get up while you got time. Say, preacher, I got family members that are lost. We start here. Weeping. They that sow with tears reap with joy. And once again, I'm sharing to you into a lost and dying world. And I want you to understand it's all through here. But I think sometimes, and God's out there trying there, and you say, well, preacher, what about this and what about that? I don't know. I know there's, but I know this. I don't know these folks. I know what that man shared about hell is right in here. So I know it's true. Now, I don't go any further than that. I also know what Don Pfeiffer was talking about is true too. It's a place where there's no more pain or suffering, and God himself's going to wipe away all tears, and we're going to be with Jesus forever and ever. If I don't bless your blesser, get it fixed. Amen. There's a whole world out there. How do I know those are true? And he's giving us warnings. He's shouting it from the mountaintop. He's telling us. And we go through trials and tribulations. And I do too. But the fact of the matter is, I realize the world needs you. Your family needs you. You're not done yet, or you'd be in heaven. God's got a plan for you. And I'm looking at a group of people today. And I'll just share them with very clear. I'm very clear anymore. The Lord has put me in the urgency of it. I don't have time to blame either you, but Satan sometimes sears my conscience. Tim, it's not as bad. Satan gets in there, it's not that bad. It is that bad. Only worse. Weeping and gnashing of teeth. Fire ripping, as he said, tormented, gasping for breath. That's a reality. That isn't. He said, well, preacher, I don't want to you know what, I don't want to overkill my children or neighbors, or I don't want to overplead them. Man, we need wisdom of God, don't get me wrong, but we need to have a burden for the lost while we got time. They're at hell. And I just showed you. And I can give you there. There's an atheist. And yeah, some of them maybe, I don't know, but all I know is this. That's what the Word says. The rich man lifted up his eyes being in torments. And we see Lazarus in the bosom of Abraham. He could see into heaven. But Lazarus couldn't see into hell. And I believe part of the torments, I don't know that for a fact, but from that message, it tells me real clearly. Here's the kicker, Mom. Here's the kicker, Dad. Here's the problem is this. If they don't know Jesus Christ, they're going to be wiped totally from your mind as you never had them. Because it would not be heaven if we could look and see hell. What I'm trying to tell you is, while we got time, this church needs to be a beacon, and it doesn't need to be sugar-coated. It needs to tell them that the world needs Jesus Christ. You need Jesus Christ. How many people here today aren't here today and say, preacher, I don't know, you know, I'm discouraged. I can get discouraged. Believe me, as a pastor, what you basically, when people come, basically they say to me, I really don't want to hear you. That could take as an insult, but I'm not. Because the Bible said that 2 or 3 gather together, touching any one thing in this earth, that shall be known of our Father Jesus Christ our Lord. My God is the same yesterday and forevermore. And the message that He's given me, I told Him a long time ago, I said, now listen, if I'm going to serve Christ, because I saw hypocrite, I saw all of it growing up in the church. I saw a bunch of stuff. I said, I'll get saved when I'm old. Because I believe that hell and fire and brimstone preaching. But I'll never be involved in the church. I'll never. No way, ain't no way. But God got a message. And I told Him, I said, God, if there's one thing I want to do, I want it to be real. I don't want anything that's religion. I want your relationship. And you know what? He's done it every time. I know God's put me in the position that I need to be. I know God wants to use you, but we need to get. So, if you go out on visitation, even this afternoon, if you go out and knock on the door, you see no interest. But I'm going to tell you, there'll be a day when they stand in hell. They want to hear it. I don't want them to be able to stand and say, listen, that Tim never told me anything about it. I want the best for my family. You want the best for your family? Holy Ghost conviction is probably what you need to have. So as we stand, go ahead, Nathaniel.